talking about conversations.
This meeting is being recorded.
Got it. So something that said the meeting is recorded just came in now. So we got that. And I hope colleagues are comfortable with that. So as I was indicating, could be going through your mind that, okay, this is a helping modality of some sort. Could it be counseling or whatever? So I'm just gonna tell you the different. So I picked 4 other helping modalities because coaching is a helping modality to help you tap into your truest potential. Now, the other modalities that exist that most of the time are confused with coaching is training. As I indicated earlier, I don't have a training manual called Sipho Hlophe. So Sipho, apologies, I'm gonna use you because ngibambe igama lakho. So there's no manual that says Sipho Hlophe. So Sipho Hlophe knows his own life. He knows what works, what would not work. When we need to do training, Dr. Mokwati, they are there, they give us training, we go to TLMA, we are being trained, and we come back and implement certain things. But with coaching, you do all the work. Definitely not consulting. Consulting is when you have an expert in a particular field, they come in, and in this instance, it would be experts in the work that you do that will come in and provide you with different ways of doing things. And I think the person or the presenter next to me would be doing a bit of that. Definitely not counseling. Counseling works with healing trauma that happens in the past. With coaching, we visit the past to find out what it is that could be hindering me in the present moment that makes me not be able to move to the future. So that's where the difference lies between counseling and coaching. If you come into a coaching session, we pick up that there's trauma or there's certain things that happened in the past that you still need to deal with and heal. We have a conversation with you and say, look, when it comes to this as a coach, I am not competent in this field, yet I've got people that I work with that can help you, or rather the additional support that you need or help that you need. So we have those conversations. Coaching, definitely not mentoring. Mentoring is when you have someone, and I think they mentioned the name that I wrote here, Paulina, or the previous speaker, who was indicating, or rather was welcoming us. So it's an expert in your field. You could go to her and say, look, ma'am, I need you to mentor me in this because I want to see myself where you are. So that's what mentors do. In other instances, if you are in a coaching session and a client brings something that we could know, we take off the coaching hat and we would be intentional when we do that and indicate to the client, I'm taking off my coaching hat because you are mentioning issues of performance. This is how performance is supposed to be. I'm depositing this in your tools and I go back into my coaching hat. Most of the time, though, we refrain from doing that. But basically, those are the different other helping modalities that coaching is usually confused with. I don't know if there are any questions or comments, or should I continue with the presentation? All right.
I just have a comment.
All right.
It's interesting listening to your presentation that I'm trying to align coaching, self-awareness, and with this unleashed customer service excellence. So it's quite interesting. But go ahead. There's no question. I was just actually making a comment. I'm trying to link the two.
Oh, all right. You'll definitely, I hope you will find the link. So, all right, Yvonne, as we help you find the link, professional coach versus self-qualified coach, we know they exist, self-qualified coaches, we have no problem with them. But when you take a decision that you want to go into coaching, or coaching, it's something that maybe is this presentation entices, that for you. What you need to do, the first thing is make sure if you really need a coach, judging from the previous slide where we talk about the different modalities, is coaching really what you want? And if it is, make a decision. Do I want a trained, or is this coach trained or certified, or is it a self-qualified coach? It's a decision that you make. One of the key things that you will get if you are utilizing a professional coach, first session, it's an introduction session. Most of the time it's for free, and they will take you through the process of what coaching is, what coaching is not, and how the relationship between the two of you would work. In most cases, we also call it a chemistry session. Can I work with Lerato, or no, Lerato man, una this thing that makes me, can't put my finger in it, but there's something with her, and then you find a different one. So those introduction sessions are meant for that. Coaching, not limited to this. It can support you. If you're an executive, you can get an executive coach, life coach. Certain things not moving in my life, you can get a life coach, career coach. Reimagining your futures as librarians, something to look at. Performance. Hey, I'm always getting about one when Lerato, they are writing me from a performance review. Once. What is it that's not working? Can I? You can get that. Team coaching. How do I enhance performance in my team? How do I enhance communication in my teams? You could do that. Group coaching, we do it a lot in the city, and I will tell you a bit about it as we move with the presentation. Now, I've been talking a mouthful, beautiful things about coaching and stuff. What's important is everything that I've said will not work if you don't show up as a person in a coaching session. I don't have results. And if I would sit here and guarantee you results, I would be lying, because the work is done by you. You are an expert in your life. I'm here to reflect. I'm here to walk with you. I'm here to hold your hand. How I usually term it is, I am holding a map for you, sitting in the passenger seat, and you are driving your life. For you to reach your destination, you need to drive. Accelerate, stop when you need to stop. Check if your car has all the necessities that you do. When we do our driver's license, once you go and you do that with your own life. And you need to be willing to work on self. Willing to work on self means that in other instances or some days there would be onions where we need to peel off different layers. Allow yourself to go through that process. And you come as you are. No filter, nothing. Hey, today, you know what? I just had a day. You come with it. The space would be safe for you to say whatever it is. And all of this happens when you have an open mind, willing to learn. And I know this one for the librarians, it's easy peasy, because we come to libraries to learn. Benefits of coaching, at a personal level, you showed up, you decided to have a professional coach. The biggest is self-awareness. When you have self-awareness, you are able to connect, and when you make decision, connect with your head. What is my head telling me right now? Whatever that I'm thinking, is it aligned with my heart? Is it my dreams, aspiration? Am I getting that? And when you do that, you consult with your body or your gut and you say, really, really, am I making this decision? If you are self-aware, you would know or notice if there is no alignment, and you know where to go to get that alignment. That is the biggest benefit. And if you do that as a whole, everything else follows. You are able to have meaningful relationships with people. You are able to have honest conversations with yourself, conversations that sometimes when you are looking in the mirror, like, Is this me? Maybe I should not say this out loud. We advise you, or rather we will encourage you to journal about such things that happen. So those are the benefits that you get. And you grow as an individual, you just grow. You know, there's certain things that when you take decisions from an alignment perspective, you ask yourself bold questions like, if I react in this particular way, nearing the end of my life, will this still be important? If it will be important, is the manner in which I'm addressing it going to reflect how I want to be remembered? At an organizational level, you have improved individual performance. You've got teams that are happy. You are able to motivate the colleagues that you are working with. And it just makes the working environment easy. You know, it just makes it easy for everyone in it. So those are the benefits that you get from an organizational level. Now, we've said all that we've said. If anything entices you and you would want to be part of this beautiful journey, we are concluding our cohort 3. I think today we're having the 5th module. In August, we're having the last one. But in between now and August, we will be advertising the Leading Self program that is run by TLMA. Please be on the lookout for it. You can join that. This program has 6 modules, 3 group coaching sessions that I did indicate that I'll talk about. So you'll get 3 group coachings and 6 one-on-one coaching sessions with a professional coach. We also have what we call coaching on demand. If you feel like you can't wait to be part of the Leading Self program, you could do or contact TLMA Coaching on Demand and indicate that I've got a need, there's something that I want to work with. You will be connected with a professional coach that can assist you or walk the journey with you. So if you are then become an alumni from the Leading Self program, you could go to a Leading Teams program that is also available. But at this stage, because so what we do with Leading Teams, we have cohort 1, cohort 2, they are completing their Leading Teams program now. So cohort 3 is running. Cohort 3 will have to wait for cohort 4. As soon as cohort 4 finishes after 6 months, then they will get into a Leading Teams program. So that's what the city has currently in relation to coaching driven by TLMA. If you need any information on this, please contact us. We will connect you with the correct people there. And I'm gonna entice you with a minute video as reimagining our future in an energized way. What could life look like? You know, I'm gonna play this video. I hope it doesn't disappoint me. Colleagues, I hope this will enable you to think of what possibilities are there as we near the end of our presentation. Please enjoy. All right. Thank you, colleagues. With that, I'm gonna move to the next slide. That's me checking out and going back to the colleagues and me being curious with the presentation that I just did to find out what are you sitting with as, you know, your possibilities. What are your possibilities? I'm going to be opening it up again. Program director or facilitator, please assist me to just get the colleagues' voices in the room.
Okay. Yeah, I think due to time constraints, right? I'm just looking at my program. We are not doing well with time. So can we maybe reserve for last that you finish your presentation quickly, and the next speakers, I would like to ask the next speakers that they also do their presentations, all of them, before we come to the closing remarks that I'll open to the floor so that we engage. I'll also limit the participants from the floor, because from where I'm sitting or I'm standing, I can't see the virtual participants. So you will guide me as a panelist that when I give an instruction that you can just allow, say, 4, 3, 5 participants or questions such that we are in time, because I'm looking at time, we are not doing very well.
All right.
So I don't know whether you maybe let me give it to you so that you wrap up. Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks.
Actually, this was a last slide from my side. And if colleagues would want to maybe also just journal for themselves, you know, as a checkout with this presentation, what other possibilities are there for them? And having said that, I just want to thank you, colleagues, for indulging me. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Lerato.
A round of applause, please, again. Colleagues, the challenge has been put on your table and on your pen to actually start becoming everything now. We know that librarians are doing everything. But keywords for myself: counseling, coaching, mentoring, and I was like, these are usual weights for you guys. So this is how we must take our work seriously to actually make sure that we've got an energized future, and the new entrants in the field are also energized by the veterans of the field, such that they become mentors, they become coaches, and everything to them, so that this profession remains relevant. Without any waste of time, let me allow again the chair of Gauteng North to actually come forth to actually introduce the president-elect of Bangladesh. If she's still around here, to come and introduce the president-elect. Is Mahlodi still around here? All right. Let me not waste any time and just prepare the DIASA president-elect, Mr. Charlie Molepo. I personally know Charlie from long ago, from very long ago. He's one of my mentors, he's one of my coaches, he's one of my everything when it comes to this field. We come from the same area, so I'm privileged to actually have him here with us, coming to share his experiences, his knowledge, and everything that he knows in the sector. So, okay, there's Romodishi, the chairperson of Gauteng North. Let's give her another round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Flope. Mr. Charlie Bulebo has been the member of IASA since the inception of the Library and Information Association of South Africa. He started his career as a teacher and joined Vista University in 1993. In 2002, he joined the University of Natal, later joined the University of Johannesburg, 2005, Universal Knowledge Software UKS, and followed by University of KwaZulu-Natal. In 2011, he joined Dozen Books UK. 2015, to date, University of Free State. He's the Director, Research and Scholarly Communications. He was elected President-elect 2021 and has been a member of IASA since the IASA started. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Welcome our President-elect, Mr. Charlie Bulebo.
Thank you, colleagues. I'll try and be as short as I am. I have the presentation that will be shared with you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Those that are joining online, are you able to hear me? Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My task is very simple. I was asked to speak about librarians repositioning themselves post-COVID-19. What's important is that COVID-19 is an event. So the organizers of this session wants me to speak to them to say, yeah, we were librarians pre-COVID-19. How are we repositioning ourselves post-COVID-19? And a government will argue that we are still on COVID-19. It's just that we have moved away from the regulations that goes with COVID-19. But I thought what is important is that as librarians, we need to reposition ourselves continuously. It should not be based on an event. No, something must not happen for us to reposition ourselves. We must be constantly repositioning ourselves because that's the nature of our profession. There was a time I remember when I joined the profession, I didn't like the idea of being called librarian. I fought strong. I said, no, we're information professionals. And the reason was because there was this new breed of knowledge workers who were coming. They were encroaching into our field called knowledge management. Now, when you see position being hijacked, now we're saying no. And why? Because in my mind it was saying, because I'm a librarian, therefore I cannot apply for this position of being a knowledge manager. And I struggled, I fought, and said, no, I'm not a librarian. I am. But actually, what we were supposed to do, it was to suppose I as a librarian to say, we the librarian are the actual true knowledge managers because we know how to manage knowledge. And if you look around at all those people who are currently occupying this position in private sector as knowledge managers, all of them were trained by librarians. Those that are successful. There are knowledge managers who are not successful and they are not librarians. And those organizations, they are paying the price. So what I wanted to stress, although I'm asked to say post-COVID, it's not post-COVID. We must always reposition ourselves. First, we must innovate as librarians. We must always innovate. And innovation is in that tree, that jelly bean that was, I think the director was speaking about. Taking the risk. If you innovate, you might fail. Not fail, you might make a mistake. But if you don't innovate, you will never grow. So you need innovation as a profession. And two, one of the key things, especially for us in South Africa, social justice. Social justice is one of the key areas that we as librarians are addressing or should be addressing. For example, in my current position at the University of the Free State, my main task is to open research so that it's become available. I'm pushing open science. My mandate is to promote open science within the university. And it's not easy because academics, if something is open, they think probably it's not quality. So it's our responsibility to show them that it follows the same principle. Those articles, even if they're open, they go through peer review, and therefore, but what's the use of doing a very good research, but nobody reads it? Because it's behind a paywall. You get researchers going into our communities collecting data. And that data stays in somebody's laptop or in his memory stick or in his whatever storage that he has. When the person dies, or when the memory stick is lost, or when Amazurat Amapara, you know, those who steal your laptop, the data is gone. But librarians have innovated, created data storages, and they are putting it there to say if one has done a research about Tswane communities and looking at the impact for health sciences, I should be able to go and use the same data for educational purposes. Somebody else must do the same data for another purpose. So you don't have to recycle, do the same thing 3 times, 4 times when the data has already been collected, because collecting data is money. The other thing that we are not really pushing ourselves as librarians is the embracing of indigenous knowledge. Especially us working in the public library, we come across these old people. We engage with old people, we engage with our elders, and we should embrace. Information is not only stored in books. We must start collecting the information that is in people's head. Now you understand why librarians will make better knowledge managers, because that tacit knowledge that resides in people should be collected, and it's only us. So the importance of oral history, let's reposition ourselves. Let's go out to communities, identify those old people. There's an advert of the African Bank. He says he started the bank with 7 rand, 70 rand. 70 rand or 70? 70 rand.
70 rand. Yeah.
Exactly. No, but somebody must go and speak to him and document that. Because if he passes away, only him knows how he started the bank with 70 rands. That's repositioning ourselves. Indigenous knowledge that resides there. in our university, for instance, now, our professor in pharmacy is busy with indigenous medicine. There are a lot of plants that are medicinal. And we are overlooking that. And so as we reposition ourselves, for instance, how many of our libraries can you read from your smartphones? All your most of your resources that are already available in a digital format, are you able to access them on smartphones? If not, why? So this is another area. So there's this concept that people like to use, reskilling. No, we're not reskilling because we went to school for 4 years to be librarians. We're not skilling ourselves. We are already skilled. We are upskilling. So whatever we learn, because remember, we can't expect library schools to change their curriculum as things changes. It's not going to happen because they go through a review by CHE and their quality control within their universities. So it's not going to be easy to change the curriculum. But the curriculum that we currently went through is enough to give you the capacity to innovate. So don't keep on blaming and say, no, they didn't teach us this. They will never teach you anything. They give you the capacity to innovate. So it's very important. And lastly, just make sure the future is technology. So when you upskill yourself, as an association, that's why we've got the academy. We've made an academy. The whole purpose is to make sure that we give all librarians or librarians and people in the field an opportunity to upskill themselves. And please, when you see these adverts coming through your emails, make sure that you respond, you attend, you learn, you interact. And I've already during the launch of this day, I'm glad that we have the coach. She spoke exactly on what I said. As an association, we will be looking at the issue of mentorship. I am this person that I am today because I was mentored. I had no intentions of becoming a librarian. I was hell-bent becoming a computer person. Because of funding, I became a teacher, and now I love teaching. And you can see, I like talking. But somebody saw a potential in me. She mentored me. She mentored me and pushed me to become a librarian. I was there in Pretoria, University of Pretoria, when the ASA was launched. I remember seeing Tarumbeki for the first time in person. I've seen him on TV, but he was there in person with the bodyguards. It was like a wonderful experience. And 25 years later, I'm here back in Pretoria. And I'm seeing these wonderful faces. And I'm saying to you, as you reposition, don't wait for an event to reposition yourself. Continue upskilling yourself. The association, and look, if you don't network, if you're not part of LIASA, if you're not part of an association, I'm telling you now, you will never grow. Your attitude towards your profession will determine your altitude, how high you go. It feels good to be a librarian. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause to our mentor, our coach, President-elect of LIASA. Thank you very much for that presentation. I think colleagues can resonate with that. There are lessons that we are getting here. The key commonalities between the first speaker and this speaker now. The first one under coaching, talking about training manuals people are not training manuals. This is one of the training manuals she was talking about, that the knowledge that is in the, he then, Charles then emphasizing the issue of primary sources. I don't know whether you still recall those. We call them primary sources when we were doing research. There's secondary and there's primary sources, people with knowledge, people that you need to go and consult. You extract that knowledge from those people. So there's a homework, guys. There's a homework, colleagues, that we're having. And please, let's stop saying we can't switch on or power on our laptops. I was born before. I think he was saying that when he was saying future is technology. So, and you librarians being the front runners of information, we can't be coming with those things. Upskill yourself. Underline, upskill. Upskill. It's not going back to school parties. Upskill. Now, without any waste of time, let me be revitalizing us, re-energizing us for the future. Is one of us, Dr. Stein Mohwati from the Tshwane Leadership Management Academy, our own. So we are proud to have such people within the organization. Yeah, so you know, if you've got coaches such as this, then you know.
Thank you very much.
You're not going to win a battle, you are going to win a war. There's a difference. So without any waste of time, because I'll give it to you, Doctor. I'll give it to you just now. Yes, you can take over.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thope. Are you able to see my slide there?
Yes, we are able to.
Yes. Okay. Right. I'm sure the same situation that Lerato was experiencing is what I'm experiencing here. I only see my my slides here. As long as you guys can be able to see me and see the slides, that's very much important. Thanks very much for this opportunity. I was really humbled by the last speaker when he mentioned something about people normally don't actually understand how important librarians are. I still have a personal relationship with such a librarian by the name of Maggie Morupane from UP. She once advised me that, you know what, a lot of people sometimes make a mistake of overlooking librarians. They go and publish articles with these scammers. They actually overlook the people who can actually advise them. These are the correct platform. These are the correct journals that you can actually publish your work. Okay. Quick comment again about Lerato's presentation. I picked up the similarity in your coaching and what I was talking about, which is Unleash Customer Service Excellence, which is the course that I present. Coaching started with C, that's one. And then there is change. There is no way in which you can actually, everything that you were talking about and what I also train is that everything that we do is about you as an individual. And then I normally emphasize the aspect of change in that this course, Unleash Customer Service Excellence, always reminding participants or students that if you don't actually take the first step, there is nothing that is going to happen. No matter how much education, training you can get, but if you're not actually willing to change, you'll never actually gonna see any results. All right, colleagues, I've been introduced, so there is no point in actually having these slides. Let's just go into it. The very big question that normally I get when students, I invite them for training. Unleash Customer Service Excellence is one of the course that I actually coordinate and train in TLMA. I sometimes find a challenge where people just come into the training and then cannot actually even understand what this course is all about. Now, let me just clarify it to you. When we talk of unleash excellence, this is a habit, a practice, or a process which provides organization with practical tools and step-by-step guidance aligned to the organization's individual service needs. I realized that, okay, the name that I can remember should be Hlope Sipo. Sipo is actually struggling with maybe utilizing this new technology to manage his own resources in the library. What kind of help can I give this person? The intervention. Obviously, I need to look at what is it, what is the gap there? And then you align your own intervention based on the need of that particular individual. And most of the time, you find that we are not actually excelling to, we are not actually providing our customers with the service that they deserve. Are we disgruntled? Are we demotivated or whatever? So this training is actually dealing with the mindset of an individual, an employee. Now, when talking of this unleashing excellence, it shows how to measure factors that truly matters to customers. Do we normally think about what our customers really want? Sometimes I doubt it, because if we do, then we'll not be seeing a lot of protest actually taking place in our country. Now, after you measure that, you need to incorporate those matters that customers are actually concerned about. You need to incorporate these results for continuous improvement in delivering the services to our customers. I'm sure I stand to be corrected. In most public space, there is a box that is called the suggestion box or something, wherein you rate their own services. If we are actually taking seriously the comments that are made in there, if you have that, then I can assure you, you are actually involved in continuous improvement. But most of the time, we're just doing it for compliance. And that's something that we really need to actually do something about. We need to change that. Right. What does Unleash Excellence include? Now, the following has to do with unleashing excellence if you want to excel in whatever job that you are actually doing. But maybe first of all, before I can actually talk about this, I just want to ask all of you, how many of you normally actually check their time when they are about to knock off? And then Sipo, you'll assist me if there is, because I cannot even read anything here. Do we have anybody that is actually raising the hand there that shows that they do check their time again to just before knock-off time? Wow, it seems like I'm talking alone. Oh, okay. Do you have anyone?
Do you have one?
Okay. Now let me tell you something. The reason why you check time. And remember, this is not a bad thing. That is why with this course that I'm offering, we deal with the mindset. And then it is nearly similar to what Lerado is actually offering about coaching. When you check time, it's obvious that the job that you are doing, you're not immense into it. You are bored now. And then the day seems like it is longer. But if you're immense in the activity that you're doing and you're enjoying it, you won't even check time. The moment you check time, it is already 4:30. So it does happen. That's when somebody has reached those that stage. We call it what? The flow. You are now enjoying what you're doing. If you are not, you are frustrated with the job. That's why you'll always check time. And then I can guarantee you, you'll check your time after every 5 minutes. That's a sign that something really, it's not right. Now, moving forward, what does this Unleashing Excellence include? It includes steps in implementing a winning customer service agenda by establishing the service improvement team. How do we do that? By maximizing effectiveness in service delivery. With us in Tshwane, how are we doing that? It's quite simple. When we invite you for training, those workshops, we are actually trying to upskill you so that you can be effective in delivering the service. Remember, our mandate is to deliver service to what? To the people of Tshwane. That's very much important. Always remember that. Now, as librarian, you know very well that you are the knowledge managers. Kids will be coming in there. Even us who wants to do research will be coming to those libraries. You are the first point of to start with where we want to get information in the library. So, the second aspect that is included in Unleashing Excellence is that this Unleashing Excellence shows one how to develop the service philosophy and standards that become the non-negotiable service expectation of everyone in the organization. So everyone in the organization is expected to adhere to such expectations. Remember, a service delivery should be a non-negotiable aspect. And with Unleashing Excellence, this will help you to develop a philosophy of what? A service delivery philosophy, which becomes non-negotiable. It will help you to develop a service standard that becomes what? A non-negotiable expectation for everyone in the organization. When we say we started 7:30 in the morning, obviously we really should be meaning that. Not that you're still thinking 7:30 you're waking up, just driving out of your house to work, while there are people who are waiting for your service. So it becomes a problem. Unleashing Excellence describes a clear communication strategy for getting your employees on board and keeping them informed, involved, and engaged in your service institute. Sorry?
Sorry, doctor. Sorry, your slides are not moving this side. I don't know whether you're moving them on that side so that the benefit of
they're not moving that side.
Yes.
Okay, let me just go back. Which one do you have? Let me just. Okay. So which one do you have? You still have the first one.
Yes. You can click on wherever you are now.
Okay. And this one, are you able to see?
Yes.
But is it big enough for you guys to be able to see?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, no, if it is big enough, then I'll just do the slide this way. Now, what I was saying is, I was actually still on this, the second slide, I was still describing what Unleash Excellence means. Every one of us really wants to excel in their work environment if you want to avoid boredom. And what I was explaining was Unleashing Excellence is a habit, a practice, and a process which provide organization with practical tools and step-by-step guidance aligned to the organization's individual service needs, which I actually explain. And it also show how to measure factors that truly matters to customers, and then incorporates the results for continuous improvement in delivering services to customers. And I even commented that, do we really actually measure the factors that truly matters to our customers? If we really do that diligent work, we wouldn't be seeing people actually protesting. Now, I was on this slide when, yeah. What is it that has been included in the Unleashing Excellence? We spoke about the first one, which is the steps in implementing a winning customer service agenda by establishing the service improvement team. We really need to establish what? Service improvement teams that are actually there to do what? To see to it that service is delivered. How do we do that? By maximizing effectiveness in service delivery. Now, Unleashing Excellence shows one how to develop a service philosophy and standard that becomes the non-negotiable service expectation. Everyone in the organization is expected to adhere to. So it becomes standard is non-negotiable. Furthermore, it also includes, it describes a clear communication strategy for getting your employees on board and keeping them informed, involved and engaged in your service initiatives. Now, the big question is, are we being informed about service initiatives in our organization? That's the question you should also ask yourself. Are we being involved and engaged in service initiatives in our organization? That's a very big question that one needs to actually look into. So these are the kind of stuff that we actually look into when in Unleash Customer Service Excellence. The fourth aspect included is Unleashing Excellence provided clear strategy for delivering effective service training to every person at every level of the organization. Training should be perceived and treated as an investment. Now, something very much important. Look at this. It says, this statement says, for delivering effective training to every person at every level of the organization. Now, the challenge that I normally actually encounter, me and the other trainers at TLMA, is that you invite people for training, they don't actually show up. They said, now this one is way below us. And people don't see training as an intervention and investment in upskilling themselves, unfortunately. So, but this is something that we really need to change. And then with you, librarian on board, I like to believe that this will change very soon. Unleashing Excellence breaks down the best recruitment methods by assisting organizations in selecting the right candidate for the right roles. Yeah, this one, I don't want to comment much about it. We know very well that we work in a political environment. But if you want to do the right thing, obviously select the right candidate for the right role, and then you'll see excellence being unleashed in the work environment. You cannot take Mr. Mkhwati to become the head of electricity while he knows nothing about electrician. So unfortunately, the reality is we don't see these things happening in our everyday lives. That's why again, it becomes a problem. When leaders or managers fail to acknowledge employees who deliver superior services, those employees begin to think, why bother going an extra mile? Now, let me just pause here and ask, is there anyone who has actually ever had this feeling? Why should I bother? Is there anyone from the group that once had that feeling that why should I actually go an extra mile? How will that help? No one actually is recognizing the work that I do. Anyone?
Yes, sometimes you feel like that. Why am I doing this? Because they don't. My name is Sultan. Sometimes you feel like you are not that much motivated, but what I learned from someone
Yes.
is that if
I can hardly hear you.
Okay. What I learned, sometimes I have that saying that why bother go that extra mile, because there's no one who's acknowledging what I'm doing. But the answer that I got is sometimes when as a librarian, if I'm not motivated, how is my staff going to feel? So I have just to take that as saying, why bother going an extra mile? I have just to motivate my staff. If I feel demotivated, how is my staff going to offer that service to the people? I once heard that saying, why bother going that extra mile? But on the other hand, somebody motivated me. If you are demotivated as a librarian, how are your subordinates going to render that service to the public? But I'm no longer using that statement anymore.
That's very interesting. That's beautiful to share that. I like people who are honest. If you can ask those who are in that hall who actually once attended my training, I'll tell them straight. I prefer people who are very much honest. They don't hide behind the finger. I once also was, I think it's some years back while I was still a teacher, I used to have that feeling that, you know what, why bother? I'm going an extra mile, but I'm forever the bad guy. But something in me just told me, you know what, I'm not here for the politics here at school. And then ever since that, I live by that principle. I just told myself that, you know what, I'm not here for the politics here at school. I'm here for that poor child who needs education. And then that's why I started drawing what? Happiness and joy in actually making sure that I make changes to those kids and then forget about the politics that I was actually faced with. Yes, we are human. Sometimes we get angry with the situation, and you ended up asking yourself, why bother? But then the big question should be, why am I here now? Because I normally say, you know what, all of us will be complaining about the situation. It's not ideal and all those things. But I can tell you, you can resign now and go and work elsewhere. The situation is still going to be the same. And then all this, it's all about you. You see something you don't like, and then obviously you need to do what? To change your attitude. If you can't change it, whatever that you don't like, if you can't change it, you change your attitude, then you'll see things running smoothly. I think I borrowed this word from the famous poet from America, Maya. She said she was quoted saying, if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change your attitude. And with that, I can tell you, you can go places with that attitude. Yes, it is normal that we do sometimes feel that way. Okay, moving forward. Something else that is also included in Unleashing Excellence is that it provides guidelines for implementing 3 types of recognition to ensure excellence excellence is celebrated and awarded. Now, something very interesting about this again is that we are able to recognize excellence. And then by recognizing that, we end up doing what? Celebrating it. You award it. And then I sometimes ask, I sometimes challenge students to say, if you are celebrating and you're awarding it, are you going to give people money if there was a job well done? Unfortunately, if you reward people with money, it's not sustainable enough. Are you going to be taking again to your money from your pocket to reward every week, to reward people because they've done what they're paid to do? A simple pat in the back, it's very much again valuable. You recognize the job well done, and then that person, that individual, that employee will realize that, you know what, I've been acknowledged for doing something like this. Check, we all received the email to say, congratulations, Mkhwati, for achieving 1, 2, 3 things. Even others will like to say, I want also to be in there. But they use the monetary rewards. Oh my goodness, you'll be broke before the end of 2022. On the last one, Unleashing Excellence outlines a practical system for identifying and solving service obstacles. And remember that when employees feel that they are set up for failure and they believe that no one will listen to them, they will often become emotionally disengaged from the organization. If you set up your own employees or your subordinate for failure, and then they realize that nobody's actually paying attention to them, nobody listened to them, obviously they'll start to be disengaged. You know something called go slow, wherein people will come to the work, they report 7:30, and then they are in the office, but they're doing just nothing. I've seen that while I was in the teaching fraternity, wherein teachers will not actually go to class. They'll go to class and sit and do nothing. And I'm not talking bad about my profession. I love my profession, but that's something I've seen. And then that is when, fortunate enough, I was the site steward, site steward. And then that's when we actually had a meeting to say, guys, even if there are certain things that we are not agreeing with management, but let's remember one thing: we're here for that poor child. We are not actually hating the people that are hating us. We are hating that innocent child. Let us not forget that. And that's when things started to change. And remember, once people become emotionally disengaged, that is a very good recipe for failure. Even at personal level. For an organization to fail, but even at personal level, once you prioritize making somebody happy while you are not, that is also a recipe for failure. So stay away from such things. And then I've been introduced to be somebody from TLMA. I see myself as a Tswane citizen. But anyway, our section at TLMA, what is it that we are offering? For one, I have, I don't know how many courses I have. Is this one, Unleash Customer Service Excellence? And I must be honest, Program Director, Mr. Thope. OCAT has been actually, OCAT and Mahlodi have been very much, they've been very much active in actually recruiting people to come for the training. But unfortunately, right now, I have a planned training next week. And unfortunately, the whole of Tswane, the response is very poor. I have only just 2, and obviously I'm going to cancel that. I'm not so sure what's happening. So what is it that we're offering? The first course that I am offering is this one, Unleash Customer Service Excellence, wherein we deal with what? With change, which is a choice. Wherein we deal with the mindset, the attitudes that we have. And then we assist candidates to do daily reflection. We make them aware of the power of habit. And then amongst other aspects that we discuss there. And then the second one is problem solving and decision making. The third one, I'm just counting mine. The third one is team leader supervisory course. The fourth one is policy formulation and implementation. This one is a self-paced course from NSG, National School of Government. So this is what we offer. And how do we do that? We send our invitation to the FSDFs. Normally, when we schedule our training, we normally schedule our training every month. And then for problem solving, we're still waiting for approval, tender approval. For team leader, I'm still waiting for the purchase order. But for Unleash Customer Service Excellence, we schedule training every month, and we send invitation to FSDFs for distribution. However, sometimes certain departments, the response is very much poor. And some, they are just non-existent. And then what they do is they'll actually be shifting the blame to say, we do not get the invitation. So this is what we are dealing with almost on a daily basis. Just like right now, there is an invitation that has been out for Unleash Customer Service Excellence for next week. If there is anyone in the room that hasn't actually attended that training, please just consider joining us there. This kind of intervention is aimed at upskilling the workforce and enhancing service delivery in the city. So let us all ignite excellence in order to better the citizens of this city. Let me take this opportunity to thank you very much, all of you, for inviting me to be part of this special day that you guys are celebrating. As I also hate the word librarian, knowledge managers. Thank you. Any comment or question?
Doctor,
Do we have any?
like I requested, thank you very much for the lovely presentation. We'll give an opportunity for questions, and I'm busy noting the colleagues that are sending questions online, and I think I'll solicit some here on the floor so that we do it once, because I'm not doing well with time.
Oh, okay.
Colleagues,
Okay,
the challenge is on you. It's on you. The doctor is giving you that you need to know your customers. You need to know your customers if you want to energize your future for excellence. Without any waste of time, let me call on behalf of the department, Ms. Paulina Dove, to come in and give us an address, a motivation, not an address, just a motivation to all the librarians here and the ones virtually. You know, I just want to crack a joke. As I was sitting there, I was like, you know, people who are watching this virtually, they are like amadlozi, they are watching us from the sky. Yeah, so without any waste of time, Sis Paulina is our deputy director, working for the Swan for our councillor who is engaged in war room. Sis Paulina, please, the stage is yours. Please give her a round of applause.
I hope I'm audible enough. Can you hear me? I think this is where a mask for personal. I hope you hear me. In the absence of the MNC, our political aid, I was requested to say away on behalf of library management. I'm very happy to be part of this as a librarian. I'm really proud. And I just prepared a writing, it's not a speech. And I think it will embolden you and encourage you as a librarian. Thanks to you, all librarians, for your hard work that you put in daily. Know that it is recognized and greatly appreciated. Doing a librarian job is one of the very special calling and prestigious profession. Librarians, you offer one of the most powerful weapons we have as a community by sustaining our democracy through the power of knowledge and information provision. Librarians, you are the key to the big industrial revolution. You support childhood development, you strengthen youth development, you foster literacy, you are the enabler of upcoming happiness. The list goes on and on and on. In your daily lives, as a librarian, you cope with social challenges. You serve users who are mentally ill, those who talk too loud in the library, coming in the library very angry, not wanting to pay their library fines, ignoring library rules, and so forth. Yet you continue to do your job amidst these challenges. Having said that, let us be proud librarians, and why not take this moment in time and thank the librarian this day. Listen to this. Librarians, you are loved. Librarians, you are necessary. Librarians, you are relevant. Librarians, you are valued. And lastly, you are very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sis Paulina. Please, another round of applause. For a very valuable professional again, please. Again, please. You sound very generous. You sound very generous. You're not valuable. She just said you are valuable. You are necessary. You are everything. So even here, she's like that. Colleagues, I don't have many questions. I've just been browsing through. I think you've seen on the that I've been looking so that I'm transparent, that I don't fill up with your question. I just captured a few questions that I saw, and then if there are some, we'll actually let I'll mute everyone who's on the session so that I give you a leeway to actually participate. So that you are all participating on this question and session that we are now in. Thank you very much, colleagues. We've had a lot of speeches. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Is it another ticking exercise that we have just done? Myself and the team, we've organized an event. It's a ticking box for some people. But for most, It's a very an extremely very valuable exercise. For the librarians who are watching this virtual, please take these things very seriously. The speakers that have presented here have done it from the bottom of their heart. They are passionate about what they do. What I've underlined, what the doctor has said, is that why you are here. This is a question that most public servants, and I think the colleagues who are working for the private sector as well, must also ask themselves, why are they doing it? Why are they librarians? Why? The issue of being incentivized financially is another story, but why are you doing it? We've got colleagues and other friends of ours who are professionals in their fields, being doctors, but you can see that, you know what, this person is not passionate about taking this tooth off this person. Why is he doing that? For those guys who are traveling with public transport, they would attest to the fact that you will find a taxi driver with most of those, all the criticism that we have against taxi drivers. But you will have this exceptional one working under those conditions that the other ones are working under. But you will have people commenting, you know what, this one doesn't belong. It's not a fact, it's not an issue of him not belonging there. It's the passion he has of the people that he transports on a daily basis. So I normally have, when I coach my team and my colleagues, I use them as an example, taxi drivers. The taxi driver would have 15 passengers in one session, taking them from point A to point B, 15. That you translate it to 15 attitudes over one person. And this person is expected to take 10 loads. So you say 15 times 10, so you have 150 attitudes over one person. So you divide it, you get an average. You think that person would be somewhat normal in inverted commas when he knocks off. The same thing happens to a librarian. Librarian opens the door, and our service is even worse than the taxi drivers. It's free. It's free, police. It's free. Everyone can just come in and out. So how many attitudes do you have on a daily basis? How many people comes in and say, hey, please, be silent, be silent. One person, be silent, and there are small kids and so on. So you can see the magnitude of our profession, the importance of our professions, because it's free, it's being rendered to all types of people that are coming with all sorts of challenges in their lives. Some are researchers, some they just come just to come and just relax in their life on a daily basis. Colleagues can testify. So it's important, all the speeches, all the presentations that I'm just hopeful that all the presenters would share their presentations with us. I know with the president-elect is going to be sharing. I'm just pleading with the previous ones to also share so that we raise the excitement amongst librarians. So without any waste of time, there was a question that was directed to Dr. Mukhwati that was saying, are the courses offered at TLMA, is there a fee, particularly for those who are external, who are not employees of the city? If you can note that one. And also, okay. Yeah, if you are able to just answer that, you can attend to it while I'm looking for us.
Oh, okay, I can. I tried to actually type it on the chat, but what is happening is at TLMA, we only offer those courses to all the employees of Tshwane. For outsiders, no. And then for NSG courses, yeah, those are free. They are free courses for National School of Government courses there. So anyone who's working for government can be able to do that. Other than that, TLMA is actually only aimed at upskilling its own employees. And you mentioned something very interesting that I've forgotten in my presentation, Mr. Thope. about the taxi driver. You know, in some of my training, I normally use that example as well. I think Mahlodi can attest to that. If you were to ask get those people right inside that room, how many of them have given a taxi driver the middle finger? And then what happened after? And that becomes a problem. If they give you the middle finger and then you simply just say thank you, you solve a lot of problem. And what does that actually mean? It talks about how do you deal with adversity. You're mentioning that you deal with a lot of people in the library who comes with different attitude, and they know that the service is for free and there's nothing can do. So how do you deal with such adversity? It determines actually the type of person you are, how skillful you are. And then with Unleashed Customer Service Excellence, this is what we actually deal with. That's why I said, in short, mindset. Thank you. I don't know if there is any other question.
Yes, I was trying to actually scroll through. I only see comments. I think what you guys are excellent. This excellence we are busy promoting. My presenters were like excellent. So yeah, of course it's silent. But what I liked, I want to repeat this. I personally am expecting all librarians, including myself, that we should be going out there and motivating people orally to. There is this issue that our languages, some of our languages in South Africa are endangered species now. They will be extinct in no time, because of the fact that we are busy with a foreign language called English. And this English is dominating our lives every time. So this indigenous systems that the president-elect was actually talking about, is actually talking about us as South Africans, our history and everything, our museums being full, efforts coming from the collective, which is the librarians and the curators and so on. So we definitely need to revisit that, because every library is expected to do a community profile. Colleagues, I'm getting a new sense background somewhere. Someone is disturbing me.
Yeah. No, there's a hand up there.
Telling me that. Please.
Hello,
Is your hand up?
Yes,
All right.
the colleague. That is why you can hear noise, because I've just raised my hand and then I've seen that you are not giving me attention. Thank you so much for recognizing my hand. I just want to correct the doctor about, because I'm working for the National School of Government. I want to correct the doctor about the courses. Not all courses are free. It depends on which course are you taking, because of these courses you pay for them. There are some online which are free, but this one of the excellency is not free. Thank you so much, colleagues.
Okay, Madi Tipi, while you're still there, the one I'm talking about, which are free, they're called open courses or something. And then the one that I'm actually coordinating on our side is policy formulation and implementation. Is free. It's open.
Okay, doctor. Okay, yeah.
So
because
there are other courses.
I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, there are other courses that one needs to actually pay. But we were given the opportunity to actually train our own employees on those open courses. So
the online one, the open online one, yes. Thank you.
Yes, that's the ones I'm talking about.
Okay, okay. Bye-bye.
Where are you going? The meeting's not over.
No, I'm saying bye-bye to you.
Thank you very much. Let me take over my session now. Let me take over now. Thank you very much, Ausmadi CP. Thank you, Doctor. Colleagues, you've heard. You can go on the website of the SG, and then you will find the courses. And for the internal employees, please make sure that you go after these courses. This is one benefit that you can have as an employee of the city, and worst of all, as a professional librarian, that you need to go and reposition and energize yourself. Because what they've presented here, I think it's talking to what we do. But as I was saying, the indigenous knowledge, the indigenous and the digitization of books, I think Oprah is here. So I think he will be taking up that project in the not so distant future, so that the future that has been outlined by Puchali, that future is technology. That we are enabling people in the city to actually access whatever we have on their smartphone. I tell my friends that if there's one thing that is available everywhere, it's a smartphone. It's a smartphone. You can go to any informal settlements, they are there. You go to any they are there. So the only way for us to make ourselves relevant is by way of digitizing and actually accessing all the information resources that we have. Colleagues, I think we are way beyond the time that we have scheduled for ourselves. And I see on the floor, I don't know whether there are still questions. Let me just offer another opportunity for my audience here and also the virtual audience. And there is no hand. Okay, in the absence of that, then I will be coming to the last item where Mr. Bowoto, our acting divisional head for arts, culture, libraries, will be coming to give the closing remarks. But before that, then I can just make an announcement that we do have tokens of appreciation for the speakers or the presenters that were presenting on the at this session. So we'll be just giving them those tokens of appreciation. And I think also the audience that is here has actually been given their tokens of appreciation. These are benefits of coming and having a face-to-face discussion with your colleagues and networking. You get benefits, tokens of appreciation. But when you are virtual, it's difficult to actually put it via email. Yeah. So without any waste of time, let me call Mr. Bowoto to come up front to give us closing remarks. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Program Director, Mr. Shobre. Thank you for running this sterling program today, and we really appreciate all efforts and the work that we have put through. With all the organizers, I just want to recognize all the good work that has gone through to bring this program to life. You can undermine the efforts you will realize in terms of the output that came through this work, in terms of what level of presenters we have had today. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Nemasholi through your leadership and your participation, your desire, and your willingness to coordinate all role players that are here and make sure that City of Tshwane and Gauteng North, the Yasa branch, is active and bringing everyone who's supporting you within the region. We really acknowledge and appreciate the work. To our speakers, presenters, it's very exciting to let one be in the presence of knowledgeable and good speakers who are upskilling one. I would just say I also got upskilled from the presentations that came from Melda Rato and also President-elect. I really appreciate, more especially encouraging our youngsters. We always believe that there are certain people who are made for certain positions, and we undermine the opportunities that are presented by belonging. I can believe that you never made a leader, but you were groomed to become a leader by participating. And you will never get it, but you belong to a group, and within that group, you manage to be what you are today. And we are looking forward to having more fruitful interactions with yourself and the committee from the delegation that you have brought in from the national office as well. To my colleagues, Dr. Mukhati, thank you. When you look at unleashing excellence, service excellence, it's one other area and focus area for our leadership and our communities. When I say leadership, we are operating in the space of council. Our communities and council look at us as public servants. And as public servants, we've got a role and duty and responsibility to render the service. And there is that constitutional role and mandate of public servants. As librarians, we are not spared off. We also have the duty and responsibility to maintain and provide equitable, fair, unbiased service to the communities. And it is our duty and responsibilities when we develop programs. Our programs should respond to the needs and of the communities that we service. And for us to have a value for money in terms of our relevance, we also need to look at what is it that we are providing. Are we responding directly to the needs of the communities? Is our service that we're providing still relevant? You know, the demise of the South African Post Office, I always give an example of what is happening in that space. We used to know each and every town, small establishment will have a post office. The situation that you see currently, it was not made by any other person. It was post office employees who made themselves irrelevant, and other institutions took over. You know, we always debate to say, where can I post my parcel? I know when I go to the nearest courier services, they even come to your doorstep. They offered innovation. One of the speakers spoke of innovation. You know, when you become redundant, you become redundant by not being responsive to the changing needs and requirements of the communities. So let's innovate and walk out today and say, identify the changing needs of our communities and our stakeholders. So I didn't want to speak much of my role and responsibility for today was to give a vote of thanks. And I want us to applaud for those that have connected online and those that are here. Let's give a round of applause to everyone who has been. And on behalf of the City of Tshwane and the management of the Community and Social Development Department, we really appreciate all that has participated and joined in. You have added value to our program, and I wish that this program as well, let's spread the way in our way. Let us continue to do good, and we really appreciate it. And I just want to say, all the speakers in their levels and all their relevant. I don't know why you didn't have an opportunity of the point, and he's looking at me with red eyes. Were you not supposed to be part of the program, the point? They didn't call you. Because I know you, I'll take this opportunity to invite you before I say thank you. You can come forward. And I know you are always ready. That's part of being indigenous in our work. So we allow people to be spontaneous. So you can do it.
Dumelang. Thuto ya go nanola peo e butsitsweng e ile ya ke mmu mme feta mo legoleng re future is brilliant. Bring up the book to read it, the revelation to be encountered in the prosperity of life. Tuto, a key to open all the door has been unlocked, like a key holder of a donkey. What it key up revelation to see? We say the future book has opened our eyes, long walk to freedom. Matiba say, oh, all the nation. We say education is the key. That is the root of foundation that have opened up the eyes of international African to see the life of education. Hurry. Oh. Africa to see the light. To see the light. Reading is so education has opened up the mindset that was being blocked by the wind.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause, please. You know, this is talented at its best. This is the network I was talking about. You know, other librarians who couldn't make it here physically, they would be taking number. For the gentleman to come to their life. Yes, thank you very much. And Mr. Bogoto, I think we would be doing an injustice to ourselves, shooting ourselves in the foot when we don't mention the other stakeholders that we actually would like to actually thank our collaborators, which is the American corner, the American embassy, actually for allowing us to use their space to actually do this particular event. Lovely technology that they are using. That is why our president-elect is talking about the future is technology. But let's just be assured that we are not going to be replaced by technology. Librarians will be librarians. Because 20 years ago, we were asked, what would you be? Where will you be 20 years from now? We're still here. They were talking about e-books, e-versions and e-versions. 20 years passed, 10 years still passing, we're still here. So to our partners, the American Corner, thank you very much. And to our colleagues at Province, the Department of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture as well, thank you very much. Colleagues, for giving us the opportunity to sponsoring this type of events. Thank you very much. And without any waste of time, I've asked Mr. Bogoto to stand here so that we can then appreciate the presenters who came and presented here. The ones virtually, we will make a plan to actually take their tokens of appreciation to where they are. Dr. Mukhwati, don't take my joke seriously, that we won't be able to email your token. So we'll be sending. So let me call Mahlodi to come forward so that she can take the token of appreciation from us in her capacity as the chairperson of the Gauteng North Liasa branch. Can you please give a round of applause? I'm sort of running everything here. I don't have a camera shooting here, taking this token. All right. And then next would be, okay, if it was sequentially, it was going to be Austerato. And then let me then give this opportunity to the president-elect, Mr. Charlie Mulebo. Thank you very much, Charlie. We know that you drove from the Free State specifically for this event, and it shows how serious you are taking your profession and your colleagues in the profession very seriously. So thank you very much, Prachali, for coming here. Thank you. A round of applause, please. And then, yeah, I think that's it. And then we will then send good Dr. Stay, Mohwati. Yeah, these tokens, colleagues, don't say I'm shutting Mr. Boboto out. He's the one actually who's sponsoring all these things. So we can't give funds, So it was just like it's a wasteful expenditure. A wasteful exercise. So thank you very much to all of you who've attended. We're hoping that we have attending and participating in this event. We have upskilled ourselves in terms of our worldview in relation to our profession. And from today, we are no longer going to apply and go in, wake up as, treat every day as business as usual, but going to upskill ourselves, apply the wisdom and the knowledge that we acquired today. Particularly the one task of going and extracting knowledge from the primary sources that exist in our communities. Please, let's do that. Then our energized future is certain. End of our session or program. And thank you very much for coming. For those who are going back home, please drive safe. COVID is still there. Let me repeat. COVID-19 is still there.